Welcome, truth seekers, to Bear City 24. What if the vibrant pulse of American cities, the breathtaking beauty of Arizona's vast landscapes, concealed a desperate reality? A reality where the line between existing and truly living is razor thin, where hope battles despair on every street corner. This isn't just about the scenic routes of a travel documentary, it's about the very real, often brutal landscapes of human struggle. We're here to peel back the layers of a crisis that's sweeping across America, a crisis often ignored but impossible to deny. This isn't just about homelessness. It's a silent epidemic of broken systems, of shattered dreams, and the alarming rise of a dark underbelly. We're talking about the fentanyl crisis, the shadow of the zombie drug-transforming communities into unrecognizable struggles. From the notorious stretches of Skid Row and Kensington to the unseen battles in Arizona's burgeoning cities, Homelessness 2025 is taking on a chilling new form. This is the truth behind the headlines, a journey into the heart of an open-air drug market, and a glimpse into the lives overshadowed by the overdose capital reality. Why has a place as promising as Arizona become a focal point for this hidden emergency? Who truly benefits when desperation becomes a way of life within these sprawling encampments? And why are countless individuals, many of whom once held jobs, homes, and futures, now caught in a relentless cycle of addiction, crime, and systemic neglect? Why has this place never recovered? Stay with us as Bear. City 24 takes you beyond the facade, exposing Arizona's hidden emergency. What you're about to witness may fundamentally challenge everything you thought you knew about life in America. Unpacking Homelessness in Arizona, a deeper look. Homelessness in its essence is far more than the simple lack of a roof over one's head. It's a complex, deeply entrenched crisis woven into the fabric of economic hardship, pervasive mental health challenges, and the undeniable failure of essential support structures. In Arizona, a state often lauded for its booming metropolitan areas and stunning natural wonders, the crisis of homelessness is not just present. It is accelerating at an alarming, unprecedented pace. Recent data paints a stark picture. Arizona has emerged as one of the states grappling with the most rapid growth in its homeless population across the United States. According to the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, on any given night, an astounding figure of over 14,000 people in Arizona find themselves without stable shelter. This represents an overwhelming 23% increase in just 4 years since the year 2020. The escalating cost of housing, widespread job instability, and the critical lack of accessible, affordable healthcare are collectively pushing an increasing number of individuals and entire families onto the streets. Consider Phoenix, Arizona's capital. Here, rent prices have skyrocketed by more than 40% over the past 5 years alone, transforming stable housing into an increasingly unattainable dream for those with low incomes. But this pressing issue transcends mere statistics. At its very core, it is about real people. Among the thousands experiencing homelessness in Arizona, nearly 40% are families with young children battling daily just to secure a safe place to sleep. A significant portion, close to 9%, are military veterans, men and women who once served their country, now fighting personal wars against post-traumatic stress disorder and struggling to reintegrate into civilian life. Furthermore, individuals living with disabilities and complex mental health conditions frequently face insurmountable barriers to accessing necessary care, effectively trapping them in a relentless cycle of instability and despair. This isn't merely a humanitarian challenge, it stands as a glaring testament to systemic public policy failures. While Arizona has made commendable investments in emergency shelters and various transitional housing programs, the existing resources remain critically insufficient. Local initiatives such as innovative affordable housing projects and targeted mental health outreach efforts offer glimmers of hope. Yet the sheer scale of demand continues to overwhelmingly outstrip the available supply. Without the implementation of more robust, forward-thinking policies designed to address the foundational causes, including the expansion of comprehensive mental health services, a substantial increase in affordable housing options, and the strengthening of sustainable employment opportunities, this escalating crisis is destined to deepen further. Arizona's struggle with homelessness is not an isolated phenomenon. It mirrors a broader tapestry of systemic breakdowns across the nation. Effectively tackling this monumental problem demands a fundamental reorientation of priorities, shifting our collective focus from merely offering temporary relief to implementing proactive, long-term prevention strategies. Because at the end of the day, no individual should ever be forced into the agonizing choice between putting food on the table and keeping a roof over their head, between the most basic survival and maintaining their inherent human dignity. Arizona's homelessness crisis, the current landscape. The unfolding homelessness crisis in Arizona is rapidly spiraling beyond control, solidifying its place as one of the fastest-growing emergencies in the entire nation. Nowhere is this stark reality more painfully evident than within the city of Phoenix, where the unsheltered population has surged by a staggering 450% over the last decade. A specific area once ominously dubbed Thunderdome, and now tragically known by many as the Danger Zone, has become a visceral symbol of this escalating emergency. Here, close to 1,000 unsheltered individuals are desperately struggling for survival under the most dire conditions. However, it's crucial to understand that this crisis is far from confined to the urban core of Phoenix. Even Scottsdale, a city world-renowned for its opulent homes, high-end boutiques, and lavish lifestyle, has not been immune to the rising tide of homelessness. As affluent neighborhoods continue to expand and gentrify, they inadvertently push vulnerable populations further out, leaving these individuals with few, if any, viable options beyond living on the streets. Efforts such as encampment clearances, frequently presented to the public as definitive solutions, too often serve only to displace the problem, shifting it from one visible area to another, without ever addressing the deep-seated issues that are the true drivers of homelessness. Beyond the stark absence of adequate shelter, the living conditions endured by these individuals are nothing short of severe. Arizona's notoriously extreme climate fluctuations, where blistering summer temperatures routinely soar past 110 degrees Fahrenheit and harsh winter nights plummet below freezing, place countless lives at direct risk every single day. Without consistent access to clean drinking water, essential medical care, or proper nutritional sustenance, many succumb to severe dehydration, life-threatening heat stroke, or debilitating hypothermia. The dangers, however, extend far beyond environmental hazards. Daily life on the streets tragically exposes individuals to pervasive violence, relentless theft, and even horrific sexual assault, a threat particularly acute among women and other highly vulnerable segments of the population. This already dire crisis is further exacerbated by the insidious shadow of human trafficking. Arizona unfortunately ranks as the 13th highest state in the United States for documented trafficking cases, with a heartbreaking number of victims being homeless individuals. These are often people who are ruthlessly exploited due to their desperate, vulnerable circumstances. Meanwhile, local city officials and dedicated policymakers continue to grapple desperately in their arduous search for truly lasting solutions. Shelters across the state remain chronically overwhelmed, consistently operating at or beyond capacity, while the availability of genuinely affordable housing remains tragically scarce. With approximately 1,000 people enduring life without shelter in Arizona's unforgiving conditions, the situation demands not just attention, but immediate, decisive action. Temporary fixes and short-term interventions are demonstrably no longer enough to stem this tide. Genuine, sustainable progress necessitates long-term structural solutions. These must include a significant expansion of comprehensive mental health services, a substantial and unwavering investment in the creation of truly affordable housing, and a concerted effort to dismantle the systemic economic barriers that perpetuate this cycle of despair. Because homelessness at its core is not simply about individuals losing their homes, it is a profound and heartbreaking reflection of a society that is tragically failing its most vulnerable citizens. Deconstructing the roots. Why Arizona's crisis deepens. Arizona's escalating homelessness crisis isn't merely about individuals losing their residences. It's a stark indictment of systemic failures that consistently let down its most vulnerable citizens. What are the primary forces driving this devastating trend? A monumental factor is the astronomical surge in housing costs. In Phoenix, for instance, rent prices have shot up by an astonishing 177% within a single year, leaving low-income residents in an agonizing struggle to simply keep pace. Can you imagine the impossible choice many families in Arizona face, daily paying rent or putting food on the table for their children? For far too many, this isn't a hypothetical, it's their harsh, everyday reality. But this relentless increase in costs is just one facet of a much larger, more complex problem. The severe and chronic shortage of truly affordable housing has exacerbated the situation to a critical degree. While the demand for low-cost housing has skyrocketed exponentially, new construction has tragically failed to keep up with this urgent need. Restrictive zoning laws and often antiquated building regulations make it nearly impossible to develop a sufficient number of affordable units, directly forcing thousands onto the streets or into dangerously overcrowded emergency shelters. And with these shelters already operating beyond their capacity, where exactly are these desperate individuals supposed to go? Arizona's explosive population growth further fuels this ongoing crisis. The state's booming economy and inviting warm climate attract hundreds of thousands of new residents, annually further intensifying the demand for housing across all income brackets. In bustling cities like Phoenix and Tucson, the housing market has become so fiercely competitive that individuals and families with low incomes are systematically squeezed out, left with no viable options. As the supply of housing remains woefully insufficient, rental prices continue their upward trajectory, inevitably pushing even more people into the terrifying reality of homelessness. Of course, the issue extends far beyond just housing. A significant proportion of individuals experiencing homelessness are simultaneously battling profound substance abuse disorders and debilitating mental health challenges, making it an almost insurmountable task for them to regain any semblance of stability. Approximately 37% of Arizona's homeless population suffers from a serious mental illness, yet their access to comprehensive treatment remains critically limited. Without the availability of effective and accessible rehabilitation programs, countless individuals remain trapped in a relentless, self-perpetuating cycle of addiction, job loss, and the ever-present specter of homelessness. And what about the crucial support services that could offer a lifeline? Currently, government funding allocated for mental health care, addiction treatment, and essential job training programs is both woefully insufficient and often inefficiently distributed. Even those who actively seek help frequently encounter endless bureaucratic barriers, causing significant delays in their access to desperately needed resources. Without these fundamental services, how can we realistically expect people to rebuild their lives, to reclaim their dignity, and to forge a path back to stability? So, what is the definitive solution? Arizona's homelessness crisis will not resolve itself through inaction. It demands bold, decisive action, an aggressive expansion of affordable housing initiatives, a substantial increase in dedicated mental health funding, and a relentless commitment to cutting through the suffocating inefficiencies of bureaucracy. If you believe it's time for us to take strong action and fundamentally fix this broken system, comment 1. If you think we should continue to ignore this unfolding crisis, letting it persist unchecked, comment 0. Human stories. The indelible mark of homelessness for Maria. Her 15 years navigating life on the harsh streets of Phoenix alongside her husband have been about more than mere survival. They've been a testament to holding on to hope, cherishing love, and embodying an unbreakable spirit of resilience. Every single day is a grueling battle against the brutal desert heat, the gnawing pangs of hunger, and the constant underlying dread of violence. Yet through all these unimaginable hardships, their love for each other has remained a steadfast anchor. Maria profoundly articulates, people think homelessness is just about not having a house, but it steals your sense of safety, it strips away your dignity. You have to fight every single day just to keep going, to find a reason. Their extraordinary journey stands as powerful proof that even in the most unforgiving circumstances, the human spirit, buoyed by love and perseverance, can truly endure. Then there is David, a former United States Army sergeant, a man who once dedicated his entire life to serving and protecting his country. But after his return from military service, David found himself confronting a different kind of battle, one fought not on a foreign battlefield, but against the insidious grip of addiction. Like far too many veterans, he grappled with severe post-traumatic stress disorder and debilitating depression, tragically turning to alcohol as a desperate means to cope with his invisible wounds. Before he fully realized the devastating impact his drinking had cost him his job, his home, and his very sense of purpose. For years, he drifted anonymously through the forgotten streets of Phoenix, feeling utterly invisible, utterly hopeless. But then, one pivotal day, something within him shifted. I hit rock bottom and understood I had just two choices: either keep drinking myself to death or fight truly. Fight for my life, he powerfully recalls. That life-altering decision led him to a specialized veteran rehabilitation program, a place where he finally received the intensive help and profound support he so desperately needed. Now, sober David is meticulously rebuilding his life piece by piece and has dedicated himself to mentoring other veterans who are confronting the very same struggles he once faced. His compelling story serves as an urgent and poignant reminder: without accessible, effective recovery programs, countless individuals will remain tragically trapped, never escaping the vicious cycle of homelessness. These raw, unfiltered narratives are more than just statistics. They are vivid portrayals of real people, each carrying their own unique burdens and fighting their own silent battles. Maria's unwavering resilience powerfully illuminates the indomitable strength of the human spirit, while David's harrowing experience tragically underscores the urgent, unmet need for comprehensive mental health and critical addiction recovery services. The undeniable, sobering reality is that homelessness is a pervasive crisis that can and does affect anyone at any time. The ripple effect: homelessness deepening wounds. Homelessness is far more than a mere social problem. It's a profound human crisis with a devastating ripple effect that touches every corner of our society. It chips away at individual well-being, erodes public safety, drains economic resources, and even scars our environment. As of the year 2025, an estimated 653,000 individuals in the United States find themselves without a stable roof over their heads, a truly alarming 12% increase from previous years. While the pathways into homelessness are as varied and complex as human experience itself, the consequences are stark, undeniable, and intensifying with each passing day. One of the most heart-wrenching aspects of this crisis is its brutal assault on health. Imagine living day to day without the most basic health care. No doctor for a nagging cough, no treatment for a growing infection. Thousands endure untreated illnesses which inevitably worsen, leading to unimaginable suffering and, tragically, often to premature death. Chronic conditions like diabetes and hypertension are disproportionately rampant among those experiencing homelessness. Studies reveal that nearly 20% of homeless individuals battle diabetes, while a staggering 50% grapple with high blood pressure. But the physical toll is only one part of the story. The mental health crisis is equally, if not more, devastating. Post-traumatic stress disorder, severe anxiety, and profound depression are widespread, amplified by the relentless stress of life on the streets. What must it feel like to live in constant fear with no safe haven? Alarmingly, suicide rates among those experiencing homelessness are 9 times higher than for those with stable housing, underscoring this as a dire public health emergency that demands our immediate attention. The unsettling connection between homelessness and public safety is another layer of this crisis we cannot afford to ignore. While it's crucial to understand that not every individual experiencing homelessness is involved in criminal activity, the sheer instability and vulnerability of street living undeniably contribute to elevated crime rates in affected areas. Drug-related offenses, petty theft driven by desperation, and even violent crimes become more prevalent in encampments. We saw a tragic example in the city of Phoenix where, within just 1 week, 4 lives were brutally cut short inside a single homeless encampment. Law enforcement agencies in major cities across the nation report a 25% surge in crime in neighborhoods with large homeless populations. This creates a pervasive sense of fear among residents and local business owners, deepening divisions within communities. This crisis also levies a substantial financial burden on the shoulders of taxpayers. Government spending on emergency medical care intensive, law enforcement interventions, and the proliferation of temporary shelters has skyrocketed. In the sprawling city of Los Angeles alone, a staggering $1.2 billion is poured annually into addressing homelessness-related issues. Yet comprehensive sustainable solutions often remain frustratingly out of reach. Property values in affected neighborhoods frequently dip by 5 to 10%, while tourism, a vital economic engine, declines as urban centers become visibly overwhelmed with encampments. Local businesses suffer, and cities lose precious revenue that could otherwise be invested in crucial development and social programs. Beyond the immediate social and economic costs, homelessness leaves a deep environmental scar. Without access to proper sanitation facilities, public urination and improper waste disposal become grim realities, contributing significantly to urban pollution and creating serious health hazards. The unsightly accumulation of trash, discarded needles, and human waste in encampments necessitates incredibly costly cleanup operations. Cities across the United States collectively spend more than $200 million annually on sanitation efforts directly linked to homelessness. These environmental degradations not only pose significant risks to public health, but also severely diminish the overall quality of life for all residents, creating a less humane and less livable urban landscape. Ultimately, homelessness isn't just an individual struggle. It's a collective societal challenge that impacts every single one of us, whether we realize it or not. Without meaningful, compassionate, and decisive intervention, this problem will continue its relentless escalation further, worsening public health, undermining safety, eroding economic stability, and degrading our environmental well-being. Addressing this crisis demands a multifaceted approach, one that includes vastly expanded mental health services, bold affordable housing initiatives, and robust community-based support systems. The time for hesitant action is over. The time to act decisively and compassionately is now, before the consequences become even more devastating for us all. Innovative frontiers in the fight against homelessness. Beyond the established strategies, Arizona is also a hotbed for innovative, community-driven solutions that are making a tangible difference. Let's explore some of these forward-thinking initiatives. The rise of tiny home villages. Several Arizona cities are experimenting with tiny home villages as transitional housing solutions. In Tucson, for instance, a project features 64-square-foot prefabricated shelters offering temporary housing for individuals as they transition out of homelessness. Imagine the comfort and dignity a private, secure space, no matter how small, can offer after months or years on the streets. Similarly, Glendale has launched a $14 million tiny home community specifically for veterans. This isn't just about providing shelter. It's about creating a supportive environment tailored to their unique needs. What do you think are the biggest advantages of these compact living spaces? Leveraging technology and mobile resources. Technology is increasingly playing a role in connecting those in need with vital services. Cities like Surprise are introducing mobile applications such as the Safe Reporting app. This tool allows residents to report non-emergency situations involving homeless individuals or encampments, streamlining the process of connecting them to essential outreach services. These technological interventions help improve the efficiency of support services, ensuring help reaches those who need it most faster. Grassroots and community-led initiatives. The heart of many solutions often lies within the community itself. Across Arizona, countless volunteer organizations provide essential items like meals, clothing, and medical care to people experiencing homelessness. Nonprofit organizations such as Eden Village of Arizona are actively working to establish tiny home communities that not only offer shelter but also foster a sense of belonging and long-term support. These grassroots efforts empower individuals to regain stability and work towards self-sufficiency. If you could contribute to a community-led initiative, what kind of support would you offer? Public education and awareness. Perhaps one of the most crucial elements is raising public awareness. This is vital in reducing stigma and promoting effective solutions. Educational workshops and awareness campaigns are being conducted to inform communities about the complexities of homelessness and the paramount importance of supportive housing. The Arizona Housing Coalition's 30th annual conference, scheduled for the 7th and 8th of May in the year 2025, will bring together policymakers, nonprofit leaders, and community stakeholders. They will convene to discuss strategies for affordable housing and homeless services, fostering a collective approach to this pervasive issue. Arizona's strategy to combat homelessness is truly multifaceted, integrating innovative housing solutions, technological advancements, deep community involvement, and essential public education. These combined efforts aim to cultivate a supportive environment where individuals can transition out of homelessness and achieve lasting stability. By fostering collaboration and embracing new solutions, Arizona is making significant strides in the fight against homelessness. Homelessness in Arizona is far more than just a crisis. It's a stark reflection of deep-rooted challenges that permeate housing, mental health services, and economic stability. From the relentless surge in rent prices to the persistent lack of affordable housing and limited access to critical rehabilitation programs, thousands of individuals and families continue to grapple with the profound struggle of not having a place to call home. Yet as we've explored throughout this documentary, solutions not only exist but are actively being implemented. Whether through expanded housing initiatives, improved mental health care, or truly innovative community-driven projects, meaningful progress is not just possible, it is happening particularly when we come together with genuine compassion and unwavering commitment. This issue isn't merely about statistics or abstract numbers, it is fundamentally about real people. Each individual facing homelessness carries their own unique narrative, their own set of struggles, and their own profound hopes for a brighter, more secure future. Addressing homelessness demands far more than fleeting temporary fixes. It necessitates the implementation of robust long-term strategies, courageous policy changes, and decisive collective action from both governmental bodies and the wider community. The arduous journey toward discovering and implementing lasting solutions truly begins with heightened awareness and dedicated advocacy. And it's crucial to remember that every single effort, no matter how small it may seem, genuinely counts. If this documentary has resonated with you, if it has sparked a new understanding or inspired reflection, please consider taking a moment to leave a comment below and share your thoughts or personal experiences. What aspects of this crisis or its solutions struck you the most? And if you are keen to continue exploring more content that delves into real-life challenges and highlights potential solutions from across the globe, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to Bear City 24. Together, through these platforms, we can ignite meaningful conversations, challenge existing perceptions, and ultimately inspire tangible, positive change in our communities and beyond. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to sharing our next journey with you.